of May 2017. It is exactly 8 o'clock, a little past 8 o'clock, 8:01. I was getting some information on tonight's topic, which is going to deal heavily in either, well, we're definitely going to be dealing with healthcare, and I'm hoping to get a well-known professional surgeon, medical activist to join me. And I hope to get that happening soon, so I'm waiting on confirmation as to if we get that interview. If not, we're still going forward because we have a lot of information. So, let's get ready. We're going rant-free and low-key because, ironically, we're dealing with healthcare and I think I'm a little unwell. So, but nothing a little apple cider vinegar wouldn't solve. Share the video, let them know we're here. Keep me informed as to how the feed is working.
Vote for we and we will set you free. Anywhere you turn, somebody chanting to we. Somebody promising jobs for all. Some renting guns to make other people born. But somebody promising more police cars. Somebody going to take the country far. Somebody putting all the bandits away. He said, if they do the crime, they're going to damn well pay. But somebody promising a human rights. While somebody threatening to put out their lights. The Montreal full with little Trinidad boys. A bullet start to whine and put an end to the joy. Now they're lying cold for their mama to mourn. The Nike gone, the gold teeth gone. You see, they want their pockets full with blue silk. They want the statue drinking full cream milk. The little red silk is not their true friend. The blue one have to extra north on the end. So a tag on the toe is now the ticket to hell. But look where we reach, well, I hear a madman born.
This man, David Rudder,
As he spread out on a wall.
Trinidad's prophet.
This is it.
Take it straight.
No time to give up, brother, no time to quit. Was the chant of a madman. In this tale from a strange land.
We need to bring Rudder back.
Madman. Is
We need Rudder writing.
vision.
Man have vision.
Chant of a madman. In this tale from a strange land. Maybe the chant of the madman. Anywhere you turn, somebody chanting to we. Vote for we and we go set you free. Somebody promising natural law. Die like a yogi, end all the war. Seek inner peace, end all the pain. The same
Getting a lot of messages while we building the audience.
somebody promising to run all the bread. Somebody pushing a world-class head. Somebody clean out the weed well fast. But somebody letting the cocaine pass. Somebody promised to abolish the tax. Somebody promised to deal with the tax. Somebody promised to clean up the land. But in this clean land, rats still killing man.
Muslim.
Little youths going to waste. Somebody binge the smile on their face. Somebody take one love off the shelf. Then the one love boys start to sell out themselves. Somebody going to end all this talk about race.
But they can't tell me that with a straight face.
Big men dying, the crime can't solve. A madman rant is my only resolve. I hear the madman call as he lie on a wall. He said, this is it. I've been hit, but no time to give up, brother, no time to quit. A chant of a madman in this tale from a strange land. It was a chant of a madman in this tale from a strange land. Maybe the chant of the madman is the only salvation.
Amanda Marie Banfield, we meet at noon on Saturdays. All those who would like to attend 19th Stanmore Avenue at noon this Saturday. Audience building slow, we early. Wednesday, 31st of May, 2017. It's closed there. So, on the heels of the conversation that we started 2 weeks ago, it has become a national conversation. 150 doctors approached His Excellency the President to say that they can't get work and that they asked for his intervention. And they asked for that intervention because more doctors, a next tranche of doctors set to graduate, with a couple coming with a next tranche year after year after year. The healthcare system is being badly run. I put out a position. I said, we need a proper inquiry into the administration of healthcare in this country, or we need to do something different. What is going on now, whatever that is not working. Now, it started a conversation, and I was surprised at the position taken by some medical professionals. But I'll leave that alone for a minute, because I can't tell people who to be and how to be. But one person told me today, you can't pay doctors enough you know what I said? I said, choose. Work for the public sector on contract, and when you finish, go and do your private practice. Don't do both, because it leads to corruption. It leads to patient touting. It leads to doctors telling a patient, I can't deal with you here, but I'll deal with you in my practice. Come and see me tomorrow at noon. That is corruption, because that doctor is paying to dispense that treatment free of charge in the general hospital or in the public healthcare system. But stick a pin in that. A doctor said to me today, no doctor worth his salt want to work in the public healthcare sector when he watching his colleagues in the private healthcare sector driving Bentleys and Porsches. But my position is this: we're spending $6 billion a year on healthcare. Our healthcare is supposed to be so perfect, so stellar, so state-of-the-art that you can't open a private practice and buy a Porsche and a Bentley, because everybody would be in the public healthcare system. But they're not, because the same doctors who working in the public healthcare system working in the private hospitals and private practices, and they're contributing to the frustration, and I am surprised. But we will deal with that on a holistic point of view. The breakdown of ethics and integrity in the professional class in this country is surprising, frustrating, alarming, disgusting. But again, we as a nation, we had to come to deal with that. Now, I said today, because that whole idea, a doctor was held with $200,000 worth of equipment in his trunk. I don't know whatever came out of that case. A whole CT scan was stolen from a hospital. Who's stealing that? Who in Laventille stealing X-ray machine and scanners? To do what? To do what? Anybody stealing that for a private practice or a private hospital. What I find strange and weird and alarming is all those things, because that specialized machinery, that specialized equipment, they should all have some kind of serial number, and not any and every mechanic could come and service it when it needs servicing. Because I remember people who bought Hilti drills in Trinidad bought Hilti drills for a reason. A drill needs brushes up on the top to keep the head spinning. And when the brushes wear down, the only place to buy the brushes from is Hilti. So you have to take the drill to Hilti. And if you owned a Hilti and it was stolen, you could tell them and they'd make a note. And if that drill ever come back into the store or into the system, they would be able to say, this piece of equipment is stolen. But apparently you could do that for a drill, but you can't do that for CT scanners. But the doctors not doing themselves any service, and I said that today. Perhaps the doctors are being used as scapegoats. I had a conversation today in person with a senior doctor, because I like to get my information and bounce my ideas off of people who in the know, who in the industry, who's supposed to know. All they are arguing back and forth with doctors. The ones who want to help, the private messaging me, and I'll share some of those messages. The ones who defending the status quo, well, they're doing it bold. Apparently, Trinidad and Tobago is a place where get rich or die trying is not just for the little black boys trying to get spinning rims. Bentleys is a degree spinning rim. Perhaps the doctors are being used as scapegoats, and I said this today, because what I said to Trinidad today is we're spending $500 million a month on healthcare. Now that is impossible. We are spending $500 million a month on healthcare, and I say it again, that's impossible. We're spending $17 million a day on healthcare. On what? On what? Because I asked. Perhaps the doctors are being used as scapegoats. They are not helping themselves by falling into negative character. But doctor abuse alone cannot account for $500 million being spent a month on healthcare. Someone or someone's are stealing by the shipload, and neither government, PNM or UNC has seen it fit to address that. But let's talk health tonight. And I want to come back to our proposal for health, because I asked my friend today, will this work? He said, that will work fantastically. Come back to that. On the heels of all of this, we're spending $6.25 billion for healthcare this year, $9 billion for national security. Those two overlap in something called the Forensic Science Center in Federation Park. We have one pathologist, Alexandrov, Dr. Valerie Alexandrov. We cannot yet so far seem to train Trinidadians to do this for some reason. Once again, he is ready to quit. And this is the mismanagement of this entire country scaled down to what takes place in the Forensic Science Center. So if anybody in your family pass away and you need an autopsy, brace for a horror show. Forensic pathologist Dr. Valerie Alexandrov said he is ready to pack up and leave before his contract ends in 2019 because he is tired of the mismanagement at the Forensic Science Center. Alexandrov told The Guardian he is sick and tired of what has been happening, particularly with Tobago autopsies. He said he had to fly to Tobago recently to perform 3 autopsies because the 2 other pathologists, Dr. Eslyn McDonald Burris, is currently on vacation, and Dr. Huvon Devines has repeatedly refused to go to Tobago to do autopsies and instead asked for the bodies to be brought to Trinidad because he's a prima donna. Alexandrov said twice before there were problems where families had to wait weeks before they could have closure because autopsies were not being done. Of the 20 autopsies done for the year so far in Tobago, 11 were done by him and the rest by McDonald Burris, he said. He said to make matters worse, there are only 4 mortuary attendants. He reiterated that it is international standard to have 1 attendant to every 100 cases, and there's an average of 1,200 cases annually. I am 70 years old and today I was handling bodies by myself. I am sick and tired, he said. What is going on is a complete catastrophe. They spent $3.5 million on a facility that can't be used because the draining was not done properly. Imagine the fluids that we deal with, blood and whatnot, cannot flow into the drains, so there are stains on the floor. In August last year, Alexandrov staged a one-man protest and refused to do any work for 2 days unless he was sufficiently staffed after working for 6 weeks straight. 2 weeks later, 3 temporary employees were hired to assist the pathologist. Now, I mean, this is beyond disgusting. This is beyond disgusting. But another doctor, somebody who is bright enough to get a medical degree, said to me, you know what? I'll read it to you. Because he told me I misunderstand. So let me see if you understand it any different. Because this is what he said to me. And I want to say it because what I got from it is him justifying the corruption by doctors. Him justifying it because politicians do the same thing. So, I want to find his comment. Just give me a minute. This wall gets full fast. And this thread, hot. If you go on my wall and you will see the thread, about the 150 doctors. And a lot of professionals have added their voice and their opinion. Surprisingly, not enough saying what you would be expecting doctors to be saying. I am having difficulty. Just give me 1 minute, I apologize. I am going to have to come back to this and I'm going to look for it in the notifications because I'm not finding it and the thread is long and it'll take me a while. But what it summed up to be was that as long as the politicians doing it, the doctors have every right to do it. And I thought that was so sad. So it prompted me to take a look at everything that's going on, and I wrote this. This is the crime that is really out of hand. This is Trinidad and Tobago. Eh? This is Trinidad and Tobago. If I wrong, tell me I wrong and we'll discuss. Anywhere that I wrong, tell me and we'll discuss that. Teachers are not teaching the curriculum in the classrooms where they are paid to teach it and are demanding parents pay them for extra lessons so they can teach it to the children then. Doctors refusing to give patients the same treatment at no cost in the public hospitals for which they are paid to perform, but are willing to do it at private facilities or their own private practice for an additional cost or at a friend's for a commission. Lawyers working in tandem with other lawyers and others to stall and drag out matters so that clients would have to pay additional legal fees. Accounting firms taking public briefs to publish privately paid for lies at further expense to the public or outright fiction to bleed public funds. Contractors and public office holders creating fake companies so that the tender process looks legit are all quoting higher than the inflated price awarded to the contractor's company, with the office holder and the contractor splitting the additional profit. Politicians creating fake need to award contract to investors and bagmen, taking bribes to frustrate the citizenry so that financiers could provide the solution at a significant cost, splitting the proceeds. Unnecessary public contracts being handed to private companies at ridiculously inflated prices, with members of government taking kickbacks as their share. Engineers on public works project over-engineering needs document to inflate project costs. Operating double sets of blueprints, one for what is paid for and one for what is actually built. Suppliers inflating prices to public facilities and paying commissions to office holders who are placing the orders. Banks and businesses adding fake and nuisance charges, paying off supervisory officials to the detriment of the public. Food importers paying governments to not grow food so that they could import food. Drug barons coordinating law enforcement schedules, grounding border patrols, and bribing public officials to use this nation as a drug pipeline. Law enforcement kept deliberately undertrained, set off after bandits with guns have no clue how to begin tackling the criminal enterprises outlined above. That's not all. There are other things you could look at. You could talk about the insurance industry, as somebody mentioned. But I wanted to point out that the people listed there is not the black hen chicken that went and robbed Robert Amar today. Live on video, Robert Amar, who did more for people of that culture than anybody else in this country that I can remember. If anybody should be a black leader, it's Robert Amar, but he's not black enough. But on live on camera today, a black hen chicken went and robbed him. And I was so upset to see that, because he does so much for Morva, Beetham, Laventille and Silots. I know Robert a long time, and I have never seen anybody, and I mean he mind people that you wouldn't believe, performers, entertainers that you wouldn't know. He was paying their rent and paying their salary and feeding them. So it's unfair and it's sad. But I'm not even talking about that kind of crime, because that kind of crime is all we hear about. When the real crime taking place in this country is that we're spending $6.5 billion on healthcare, $5 billion on education, $9 billion on national security. We have nothing to show for these things. Our proposal as the Progressive Empowerment Party for healthcare, like everything else, is to decentralize it and to create health supervisors, 41 health supervisors, and we want to establish 41 proper health centers in all 41 constituencies. These health centers would operate 24 hours a day. So that means you don't have to go and chuck and jam up from 5 in the morning hoping to take a number. All day, all night. If you get sick, if you get a cut, if you're not feeling well, if you need to go and get your blood test so you can get your food badge, whatever it is, it's in the community, you're 15 minutes away from it, come and sit down and you will be attended to. Properly staffed, each must have an accident and emergency unit complete and ready to treat with just about anything, if not stabilize and get you to a major hospital. It would have minor surgery suites for minor surgeries, and a dedicated working ambulance unit on each site. And the purpose of that ambulance is to take you to pick you up and bring you to the hospital if you can't get there, and to take you to the health center and to take you to the general hospital or any of the other hospitals that you need to go to. Now, if you go to casualty at Port of Spain General Hospital on any given day, you will see hundreds of people with a myriad of ailments that could have been dealt with at a proper healthcare facility. And that would free up the general hospitals to deal with bigger, more invasive, more intense matters. So then that could be run properly. And I asked my friend, I said, if these, and I estimated salaries, round the clock, $2 million a month, which is high for a small healthcare facility with a doctor and 3 nurses on a shift and an ambulance driver. It's high to say $2 million a month, but run all 41, $2 million a month. That is not $1 billion. That is not $1 billion. To run that and provide healthcare nationally, you'll be able to cancel this private ambulance contract. We don't need that. We can be able to cancel that, equip the ambulances at the fire stations in every constituency. So between the ambulance parked up at the healthcare facility and the ambulance dedicated to the fire stations in the constituency, you're always minutes away from a response. And this will mean that every citizen of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago will always be minutes away from proper health care. And that's still not $1 billion a month. If we take a next billion, another $1,000 million, and run the General Hospital, the San Fernando Hospital, and the Mount Hope Hospital, because I still want to sell Cuba, you know. We have no use for Cuba, you know. I'm still saying we have no use for Cuba. That was a pipe dream. It's pretty, it's nice, it's set up well, something we never needed. Even Mount Hope has never been fully operational. You know that? Mount Hope, hundreds of millions of dollars, and next whole scandal and catastrophe when it was built by Eric Williams. But forget that. This is a country where that is our legacy. But I'm saying to you now, if you take $1 billion to run those 3 facilities and all they're dealing with, they will run a maternity ward, they will run a hospital, and they will run accident, emergency, and healthcare center in those hospitals for the people in that constituency. So it'll save us having to build at least 3. And if you put the next $1 billion to run those, that's still $2 billion. Where the other $4.25 billion going? Why are the hospitals paying 5 and 6 times the retail price for medicines delivered through the back door? Why? Why is that? Why are people billing the health centers, the public healthcare system, for sheets, beds, maintenance, all manner of things that are billed for, signed for, paid for, and never delivered? Why is that happening? Why do we have doctors going to work and clocking their cards in 3 different departments, so that at the end of the month they get 3 different checks for 1 appearance? Why? Why are doctors going to work, loading their cars with hospital supplies and taking it to their private practice? Why? Why is that? Why are nurses clocking other nurses' cards as if they are present on shift and not? So nurses taking 3 and 4 day holidays and working it out among themselves, who there and who not there. Why? Why are these things happening? Why are we paying inflated cost to private security firms to secure the nation hospitals when we own the National Maintenance Training Security MTS? Why? Where in all of this is that $6.25 billion? I just showed you modern, state-of-the-art, 15 minutes to healthcare from anywhere in the country, $2 billion. Where's the $6.25 billion going? The ambassador or the high commissioner to Brazil, Amory Brown, stood up in the parliament and accused the last minister of health of buying hazmat suits when there was an Ebola scare. Remember that? For 5,000 times the cost of what you could have paid for it on eBay. That went nowhere. That happened in the parliament. It was discussed in the parliament, went nowhere. Nowhere at all. This is a country discussed in the parliament. A drug mule got a surgery in a private hospital. The drugs were removed. The mule was stitched up. The doctor, the mule, and the drugs, nobody ever had a question to answer. Why? Why? So for all the doctors that want to tell me bullshit, miss me with that, because I'll call you out. I know what's going on, and we getting information by the truckload. Once I bring up an issue, you should see my inbox, the amount of stuff people send. Hear this. Good evening, Philip. I heard there were 150 junior doctors who needed jobs. Yet from the other side of the fence, as a consultant in the system here, we have been asking the administration for junior doctors to join the system. What did we get? No answer. Many possible reasons, but one practice by the administration is to not employ more juniors. They do this because they double up the workload of these junior doctors currently employed, cross-covering more than one job when on call. This is one reason why patients end up waiting hours for the doctor to arrive. They are busy doing 2 and 3 other duties at the same time. And the administration saves on the salaries at the end of the month. It is capped, and yet the need is there for more juniors to be employed. The health system has so many problems hidden quietly by corrupt administrators, and I think it is like an orchestra of corruption. I can explain why only the senior doctors should do private practice, but the original rule was private practice is not to be in conflict with the commitment to government commitments. The reason it got lost is greed and lack of accountability. I don't want to give too much information so that they'll figure out who the guy is. I want to provide a better service. Lord knows I can't afford a house on the government salary, and yet there are consultants who want to upgrade the service. Another person. Hi Philip, I just want to say that you are a breath of fresh air. This whole fiasco with doctors working in both the public and private health sector is nothing new. I graduated in 1996 from med school in Trinidad, and the things that went on there made me cringe. For far too long, the practice of medicine in Trinidad has just been about monetary and social status and gains. Not all of us are like that. That breaks my heart about the state of the health service in Trinidad. A few years ago, I walked through Port of Spain General Hospital, and I was so saddened to see the infrastructure falling apart. Ironically, so many millions that were spent on the Napa building near the hospital was wasted. Jeffrey McLean, one of Trinidad's most well-known architects, the head of Citizens for Conservation, either when Manning was in power or when Kamala was in power, did a study, a document, this fact, on the problems with the General Hospital and why the General Hospital would not be there and functional in case of a strong earthquake or hurricane. Our General Hospital, what we would need to deal in a catastrophe would be non-functional. It would itself become a casualty of that. Nothing's been done. Nothing's been done to date. Yet we are spending, and by my estimation, $4.5 billion more than we need to be spending on healthcare. And this is the important thing that I want to raise. Go West Shore, go St. Clair, go St. Joseph, go Valsayn, go San Fernando, go Sangre Grande, go by where all the private hospitals are, and they're full, and they jam up, and they're turning over a brisk business. So those are citizens who are paying taxes for who this $6.5 billion in healthcare is supposed to be provided for, that not going there. That not going there. A full quarter of the population, I am sure, will never, unless they have no choice, use any of those facilities. Ever. So your entire costing is built on providing healthcare for 1.3 to 1.5 million people, but they're not coming to your hospital. So what is going on? What is going on, Trinidad and Tobago? What is preventing Keith Christopher Rowley from calling an inquiry into the administration of healthcare in this country? What is keeping him from building wherever does not have a proper healthcare center, building one there, staffing it and running it properly within the constituency? What is stopping him from ending this failure of an ambulance contract that leaves the public at risk? What? The same thing that stopped Kamala. Whatever that is, a commission of inquiry would tell us. A commission of inquiry would tell us what we have been paying for medicine that is 6 times what is the price on the pharmacy shelf. as a commission of inquiry, but you need to elect into power, into office, a government willing to take on these issues. Because I have told you before, $20 billion of our annual budget is all stolen money, is all corruption, is all pork, is all wasteful private contracts that we don't need. It is all state boards that just there to steal money, to funnel to finances, to funnel to political parties. Now the two political parties join. They start giving investors finances from either party contracts. So we dead in the water, PNM and UNC, same bullshit. And they have people coming to defend it. They coming to defend it. And my friend, I know you're watching my video tonight, you know. I know you're watching. When you tell me about the Bentley and the Porsche, you get me sick. Because it's Trinidad. Bentley and Porsche, to ask with the citizen, to ask with my Hippocratic oath, to ask with ethics, to ask with the profession that I'm a part of, Porsche and Bentley. Yeah? I don't know. Something had to be done. Don't tell me about PNM if you're not telling me about UNC, because the same bullshit going on under this government went on the last government. They send you. So don't come and talk. I will come back and try and delete. Let me tell you something. I deleting sycophants free these days, and I'm not interested in fighting with you. Don't come and troll my conversation with partisan sycophantic bullshit. The PNM doing it and the UNC doing it. And if you're not prepared to call out both, don't call out one on my wall. Don't call out one on my wall. Anyway, I promise to take calls tonight. So 682-2110. If you're calling, please state the constituency or the country you're calling from and make your contribution. Preferably keep it short so that everybody else could get a chance. So let's try and aim for a minute, 2 minutes tops. Those who want to call, 682-2110. And like clockwork. Hello, good evening, you're live.
Philip Edward Alexander.
My friend.
Who are not in the house.
How are you?
I have two things to share with you. Two things. Good and the bad. Last night my spouse was ill. So we had to go to San Fernando General because she was feeling really ill. We got there around, I would say, 12:30. It took us till 4:30 this morning to realize that one doctor, as you indicated before, was doing two jobs. He was doing a CT scan and the ultrasound. So obviously you would have a backlog of people, a pile up, you know, a bottleneck. So obviously by the time 4:30, my spouse decided, babe, I got an injection, I'm not feeling the pain anymore, and I can't stay here anymore. It's very ridiculous and it's disgusting. This is not what I paid for.
That is disgusting.
And I said, babe, well, that is the exact reason why I go to meetings on Saturday. Okay? But anyway, prior to that, I went to cross-crossing. This was a nice experience. And I thought I should share on each other. The thing is, I went to Marabella to purchase something to eat. I didn't get anything there because they don't have any shrimp and they don't have seafood. So I said, but this is madness. So I went to the cross-crossing now. When I got to the gyro guy, he didn't have any shrimp. So I said, but gyro man, all that treating seafood people bad. How come, you know, you only have food that seafood people don't eat? He was like, well, boy, I run out of shrimp or whatever. I said, cool. He said, but check the guy next door. If he has, I'll give you the wrap for it. I said, cool. So I talked to the guy next door. He's a burger guy. Burger guy say, of course I have shrimp. And he said, that is not a problem. I said, cool. So two of them had to decide now who want to make the shrimp gyro. So the guy with the shrimp said, here's what. I'll give you the shrimp and you'll just pay me for it. And in my mind, I said, that is camaraderie. That is brotherly love. That is the kind of Trinidad that we used to have. You don't see that happening anymore when people could come together for a common cause and decide, okay, we're going to help out that situation. You understand where I'm coming from? And I was very pleased and I told them, I said, listen, when I started to talk about the government, well, boy, two of them come at me same time. They say, now we fed up, we don't want to hear that. I said, well, this is time for change. I said, you will have to be part of the change. I said, because if you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. I said, don't sit back and say, I'm not going to vote. I said, when the time comes, you are going to know that you have to get up and make a stand. I said, don't sit back because there are other people who are red till they die and yellow till they die. I said, don't be those foolish people. And we had a nice little discussion there. And it was a nice way to end the night.
Well done. Senior Saturday, I assume?
Of course. Don't assume.
All right, my
Affirm.
brother. Thanks for sharing that. Thanks a
All
lot.
right, yeah. That's
Take
it,
care.
sir. Good night, Trinidad, Tobago.
Hello, good evening, you're live. Hello, good evening, you're live. Hello, good evening, you're live.
Good night, Philip.
Yes, you hearing me?
Yes, I'm calling out from New York here.
Welcome.
Getting you good reception out here.
Thank you for that.
This corruption has been ever since the PNM started. I mean, and it continues and continues and continues. But the whole thing about it is the parties like the PNM has gone beyond being a political party. It's now like a cult.
But the UNCs are cult too. The UNCs are just as much a
They're
cult.
both the same thing.
They're both the same.
thing. And
They morphing into one.
seen in Trinidad,
They morphing into
They
one
could put a
organization,
crap
taking
for
advantage
election.
of people.
and they will vote the crap win. You know? So I am saying to you, good work. Let the public know what's going on, and their vote is important.
Thank you for that, New
Their
York
vote
City.
is important.
Thank you very much for that.
Because there's a whole lot of experiences that I have had, and I left Trinidad because of that.
Feel free to share your experiences with me on Facebook Messenger, and I will share it with the public. Let's let
Thank you.
others.
Thank you so much.
All right, take care, my friend.
Have a good night.
You too.
Bye.
If you call in 682-2110, try to keep it short. I know you like to hear yourself. I the most talkative person, but what my friend from Kuvano just saying, old time days. I see a company trying to claim they invent doubles, and I'm letting that pass. This is history of doubles in Trinidad and Tobago, and if you want to challenge me, let's go down and talk it out there. They used to sell to the cane farmers. They used to have people used to sell fry bake, and people used to sell kapachana. And Mr. Kapachana man run out of chana, and he buy bake from Mr. Fry Bake man and put them together. And he used to get a bake full of chana, and people used to come and say, put our next one on top, double it up. That's how the name doubles come from. Hello, good evening, you're live.
Hello, good day, Mr. Phillips. How are you doing?
So far, so good.
Just want to say, it's a fantastic job. I just have one short story for you.
What
I'm ready to keep it
constituency?
short, right?
What constituency you calling from?
I'm calling from Curbside.
Okay.
Alright, so
Keep it short,
my
eh?
thing is, I should keep it short, right? A friend of mine went to the new police station that they opened right in Curbside there. I think that is, and I can't remember exactly what year it is, but he said he went there and made a report about his girlfriend laughed at him, and the police laughed at him, and he walked out. You know, so I don't know. I just find that's not right.
That's ridiculous. Thanks for sharing that, my friend.
Right.
Thanks for sharing that. I know they're listening and they will hear. Thanks a lot for that.
Yeah.
Hello, good evening.
So I just find that's right.
Good evening, you're live.
I just wanted to make a comment.
Yes.
Dr. Philip calling from New Jersey.
Yeah, turn down the thing in the background because we're hearing everything.
I'm sorry.
You're calling from where? New Jersey?
Hey, Philip, sorry, I didn't realize I was online there. Sorry, I apologize.
No problem at all. You're calling from where? New Jersey?
I'm New Jersey, yes.
Welcome aboard.
And I've listened to you for quite a few nights now, and I really appreciate what you're saying and what you're trying to do. You make sense, at least more sense than anybody I've ever listened to, actually.
Well, thanks,
And
sir.
one topic I wanted to talk about is the recycling of garbage in Trinidad, which could be in turn recycled to like energy. You know, there's some plants up here that they use, and I don't think they have any in Trinidad. I forgot what the name of that plant they call it though.
You want to send me that information as a private message and I could share it with the viewers?
Okay.
Thank you.
I will look at it because a friend of mine works in one of those plants, and I'll get the name, and he even recommended it to somebody he knows in Trinidad, but they never really
Thanks for that. Thanks for that, my
put
friend.
it in motion.
Thank
But
you.
you're doing a good job, brother, and thanks, and I will support you as much as I could, and I'll spread the word and copy and share.
Thank you, my
Good
friend.
night.
Okay, bye. Hello, good evening, you're live. Hello, good evening, you're live. You hearing me? Hello, good evening.
Yeah, So I'm calling from Toronto. I just want to tell you a little about my own experience with the hospital here in Canada. I had a quadruple bypass about 9 years ago. They treated me so well that when I came out of the hospital, about 2 weeks after, I got a bill from the hospital. I was afraid to open it because I said, my gosh, will I be able to pay this bill for quadruple bypass? When I opened the bill was for $14 for the TV.
Wow.
What happened? I paid for the TV to look at the TV, and that is all the expense that I had. And I had a quadruple bypass here in Canada.
Yeah, that's how it's done. Columnist Ira Matur wrote about her experience in England, and she said if she was in Trinidad, she'd have been in trouble. Thanks for sharing that, though. Much appreciated. Here it is.
If the pursuit of learning is not defended by the educated citizen, it will not be defended at all. For there will always be those who scoff at intellectuals, who cry out against research, who seek to limit our educational system. Modern cynics and skeptics see no more reason for landing a man on the moon, which we shall do, than the cynics and skeptics.
John F. Kennedy, listen in.
Of half a millennium ago, saw for the discovery of this country. They see no harm in paying those to whom they entrust the minds of their children a smaller wage than is paid to those to whom they entrust the care of their plumbing. But the educated citizen knows how much more there is to know. He knows that knowledge is power, more so today than ever before. He knows that only an educated and informed people will be a free people. That the ignorance of one voter in a democracy impairs the security of all.
Listen to this.
And that if we can, as Jefferson put it, enlighten the people generally, tyranny and the oppressions of mind and body will vanish like evil spirits at the dawn of day. And therefore the educated citizen
Listen to this.
has a special obligation to encourage the pursuit of learning, to promote exploration of the unknown, to preserve the freedom of inquiry, to support the advancement of research, and to assist at every level of government the improvement of education for all Americans.
What he's going to say now.
From grade school to graduate.
All the professionals, pay attention to this.
Secondly, the educated citizen.
Professionals,
has
listen.
an obligation to serve the public. He may be a precinct worker or president. He may give his talents at the courthouse, the state house, the White House. He may be a civil servant or a senator, a candidate or a campaign worker, a winner or a loser. But he must be a participant and not a spectator.
Is that what he just said there? We, the educated, have a special obligation. People ask me why I do what I do. I say I imagine myself standing on a beach with 99 other people and I alone could swim and somebody's drowning. I have a special responsibility, and anybody in that lineup, they do so too. But my friends in the professional arena, the professional class, the accountants, the lawyers and the doctors, and those who go forward for politics, they do so to enrich themselves, to bling and shine and pose. I sat for a brief time at Anthony Sabga's funeral. Easily the richest man in Trinidad and Tobago. Easily the most accomplished man. Same size coffin, had to come out and go in the hearse. And everybody present at that funeral missed the same lesson that I tell everybody at every funeral. And every funeral, the lesson is the same. And no matter what they say about you, you're in that box. And no matter what they say about your life, you're in that box. The thing that is important from the takeaway from every funeral is that it ends. It ends. This ends. One day my funeral will take place. I know it ends. And we the thinking people, we the educated people, we the ones who have more knowledge than the average person who we castigate and we blame for their ignorance. If you want to have the moral high ground to castigate and blame the undereducated and the underinformed, then by Christ, Buddha and the pantheon of all the gods, at least have the decency to help. At least have the decency to try to make the world better by your presence.
The first responsibility that devolves upon you is the protection and promotion of your democracy. Democracy means more, much more, than the right to vote.
This is the first Prime Minister.
For every man and every woman of the prescribed
Independence Night, when this country was born.
Recognition of the rights of others. Democracy means the equality of all in the eyes of the law. Democracy means equality of opportunity for all in education, in the public service, and in private employment. I repeat, and in private employment. Democracy means responsibility of the government to its citizens, the protection of the citizens from the exercise of arbitrary power and the violation of human freedom and individual rights. Democracy means freedom of worship for all and the subordination of the rights of any one race to the overriding right of the human race. Democracy means freedom of expression and assembly and organization. All that is democracy. All that is our democracy, to which I call upon all citizens to dedicate themselves on this our Independence Day. This is what I meant when I gave the nation as its slogan for all time: discipline, production, tolerance. Our national flag belongs to all of us. Our national coat of arms with our national birds inscribed therein is the sacred trust of all our citizens. So it is today. Please, I urge you, let it always be so. Let us always be able to say with the psalmist, behold how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity.
That was the first Prime Minister, Trinidad and Tobago, the founder of this country, of our independence. Somebody sent me this tonight, because I know a lot of us not paying attention. We think, if I don't provoke the wolf will leave me alone. Somebody sent me this today. See how much big AK-47 and AR-15 guns and barrels they're finding? Only for one purpose. A small handgun is for robbery and carjacking. What they're finding in those barrels is for war. Pay attention, Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah. Revelation.
Wake up. Wake up. Wake up.
He promised the fire next time. He promised the fire next time. He promised, he promised, he promised, he promised, he promised the fire next time. Next time. And who ain't dead, the bad wounded, who ain't dead, bad wounded, who ain't dead, the bad wounded, who ain't dead, bad wounded. Talk and talk, you mocking pretender. I'm checking lyrics and I'm come for test you. Far too long, you're fooling the children, filling the head with much education. Doomsday reach, wipe and they repeat, cause the children.
So the Minister of National Security has 2 assistant ministers, and between the 3 of them they can't accomplish nothing, but they're bringing in guns by the barrel load, war weapons coming into Trinidad and Tobago, and nobody doing anything to stop it. I see and I observe. At the end of the day, I am one man, but I am speaking and I am saying, Trinidad and Tobago, pay attention to what is going on. The government and the opposition are playing the ass with foolishness, having you defend nothingness, talking and walking all over the country, speaking to nonsense. I don't care about Kamala dress and shoes. I really don't care about Keith Rowley and how much outside children you have. I care about which one of those mocking pretenders can do the bloody job. And if neither of them can do the job, fire your bloody self. Get out the way. We are running aground. Somebody said, we're not just the Titanic, brother. We're staring into the iceberg and our ship on fire. This is not an easy situation to ignore. Terence Day Alsing want to take the health sector in front of the Joint Select Committee. Fire yourself, brother. You're there 2 years. You have not given us a plan, an idea, a program, a policy. Nothing to say that you understand healthcare, where it's supposed to go. You're coming there as a representative of a pharmaceutical company because that's what you was. A medical sales rep. And so you're coming to Parliament as the Minister of Health. What's your job? Who you representing? The people of Trinidad and Tobago? Where's the healthcare? What is the $6.25 billion being spent on? You all are making asses of the people. The people are waking up. They are speaking up. They are getting informed. Do not take the people of this country for fools.
He promised the plan next time. And who ain't there, the bad news, who ain't there, bad news, who ain't there, the bad news, who ain't there, bad news, talk, you're mocking pretender, I'm checking lyrics when I'm competition.
Terence Day Alsing, come on, man. You're warming a bench. You're warming a bench. We've had some failures as ministers of health, but you are the biggest failure of all. We had a minister of health come into office to create CDAP to give himself a contract so he could build pharmacy. This country is so disgusting and broken to the core. We've had a minister of health who declared crisis after crisis so he could give contract after contract to solve them crisis, and kickback after kickback, and he buying up property all over Trinidad and Tobago. This nation rotten to the core because of two political parties that now seem to be seamlessly integrating into one monolithic monster representing the faceless financier investor class, ganging up to rape the people of Trinidad and Tobago, going in the parliament with fake parliamentarians, creating ministers on a mission, going there to take away your human rights. The judiciary is collapsing. National security is a joke. What is going on in Trinidad and Tobago is designed to frustrate you while they run away with everything. So by the time you wake up, you will find that everything that you thought that you knew that we were is no more. And everything that you thought that you knew that we had has been sold to somebody else with a vested interest in one of those two parties. Trinidad and Tobago, where we go in, is not a safe place. These two political parties, the PNM and the UNC, need to be called to account. Tell Kamla the next time you open your mouth, account for your stewardship. We gave you 5 years. You had a special majority in the parliament. You didn't do one ass for anybody. You promised recall, campaign finance reform, fix election date, all that nonsense you talk, make mockery of the parliament and send Prakash Ramada to come back with a study that they throw in the dustbin to fool people. Keith Rowley there 2 years now, golfing his way around the world, making an ass of the people of Trinidad and Tobago. We, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, need to wake up. This cannot continue. If you allow it to continue, to your detriment. Your retirement plan better be to get on a plane and get out. Because if you're going to grow old in this country, brace for jamming, Brace for jamming. Brace to be old in a nation of shortages, of outages, of no water, no electricity, and an empty grocery. That is what's going on in Venezuela right now. That is our iceberg. Trinidad is the HMS Titanic, and we're steering towards it. Wake up, Trinidad and Tobago. The people on the thread giving you all the information, peptrinbago@gmail.com. If you want to join this party, Saturday we have a meeting at noon. Feel free to come in, vent your spleen, talk your talk, join up, don't join up. It doesn't matter, but at the end of the day, we have a country to save. We could either save it or we could go down with it. We in the PEP, we're trying. We want to tell you that we're trying. So if you would like to be a part of the attempt, send them an email, peptrinbago@gmail.com. To those who know, you see, you have eyes, you understand, all that we do costs money. We have no benefactors. We can't give you a breakdown yet, but we want to tell you we need help, we need assistance. If you can, from $5 go up, please. Thank you. It will be appreciated. It will allow us to do more. We would like to be doing meetings every 2 weeks, every month. Those things cost money. Sound systems, rental of chairs, advertising to let you know that it is coming. Those things cost money. We need help. If you want a better tomorrow and this is not the vehicle, fine, you can ignore us. But if you want the PEP to become something, help us. We need your help. Volunteer, time, money, whatever. peptrinbago@gmail.com. Right? And thanks a lot for staying with us tonight. It was a nice conversation. I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. Stay safe, Trinidad and Tobago.